GF19F is obsessed with a mannerism in her upper lip. How to convince her most people don't even notice and it looks good anyway.
My girlfriend believes she looks ugly when she smiles, talks, and a piece of her upper lip turns inside out, revealing the inner pink-purple skin of her lips. She believes it makes her look ugly and like she's grimacing. She sometimes practices ways to smile or move her lips so her upper lip stays in place, but she ends up looking rather strange and mumbling. She's convinced everyone notices and finds her ugly for it. For reference, I dated her for several weeks before noticing if it took me weeks to notice despite being all over her face and lips. I don't think people notice as much as she thinks they do. And even if they do, it's not that big of a deal. Imagine telling someone, "You look ugly because your upper lip folds slightly when you smile," and somehow thinking you're not being an utter asshole. How to get her to understand there's enough shit wrong with the world for her to worry about her lips naturally folding when she speaks. In a nice way. TLDR. Girlfriend thinks the way her upper lip slightly folds when she smiles and speaks is horrendous and everyone thinks she's ugly for it. How get her to realize it's a minor detail and not something she should worry about?
When I was 19, all the way back in 2007, I was convinced I was fat, had thunder thighs and big belly, and had a huge nose and was short and unattractive. I look back at photos of myself. I was a UK size 6, US size 2, no belly to speak of, thin legs. I thought because I didn't have a thigh gap or six-pack I was fat. I've never had a thigh gap. It's less to do with fat and more to do with the way your pelvis tilts. My nose isn't big at all. I still don't love it, but I don't hate it like I used to. For reference, I am 35 next month and only really happy with my appearance in the past few years. 19-yo girls are so impressionable. They are still between child, teen and young adult. And I imagine it's even worse with social media and filters nowadays. Please don't diminish her concerns. It seems to me like she really needs to talk to a professional about body image and self-esteem. She's in a delicate place right now.
Okay, my lip does this too, just letting you know, because I'm sure your social media recommendations look very different. It's currently trending for people. Unfortunately, 99% of the time this is targeted to women, to get Botox in their upper lip to relax this muscle and fix the problem. My social media is inundated with videos of women complaining about their gummy smile, and getting injections every month to change it. It's called a lip flip. A med spa near me was offering a free treatment and I got it done. I liked the results, but I couldn't drink boba tea anymore because my lip wouldn't go around the straw. It faded after a month and I didn't get it redone because it ultimately didn't matter that much to me, and I would rather drink boba tea. But I'm just letting you know it's currently trending that feature is considered a flaw. There are even memes about girls with this type of mouth getting engaged to military guys at 18 and getting cheated on for some reason. Like, thin upper lips are a big trending. No, right now this is probably making her feel pretty insecure. Something that helped me stop caring is that these cosmetic trends are only nagged on because the beauty industry profits on insecurities and making women feel like shit. I don't want to let a multi-billion-dollar industry tell me what to do. Treat her with kindness and make sure she knows you find her beautiful.
It's impossible to impress upon people when they're self-conscious about something, but those kind of flaws make a girl so attractive to me. One girl I dated had one weird-shaped ear. She called her elf ear, and it was so pretty to me when it would poke out of her hair. Girl I'm seeing now has a crooked front tooth, but she has such a cute smile. The small things make someone unique, and I just always appreciate it.
I'd say just reassure her occasionally. You can't force her to change her mind, but when I don't like bits of myself and I get compliments from others on, then that does help a bit, and it can help a lot in the long run. Also, I'm pretty sure Priyanka Chopra has the same lip thing and she's considered incredibly beautiful. Sometimes it can help to see that on other people and see that it's not hated on them.
My lower lip does this a bit when I'm laughing. Full body, my chipped tooth shows too. Everyone else's reaction is pure mirth. Tell her that's what people see. Because it's true, they see mirth and joy. That's all, and it's great.
See Catherine Reitman of the Canadian TV show, Working Moms, criminally underrated show. I challenge anyone to spend more than 2 seconds worrying about their smile after watching 3 episodes. I virtually guarantee positive results.
Normally, that kind of obsession over tiny details in your own appearance and thinking everyone else must be as fixated on that ugly thing as you are, is something people grow out of by the time they graduate high school. It's far less common in a young adult, and she may be struggling with social anxiety or some other mental health challenge. I doubt you'll be able to simply talk her out of the idea that her lip makes her look ugly and everyone is staring at her instead. You should urge her to seek therapy. A good therapist can work to build up her self-esteem and positive body image, and help her develop coping and self-soothing techniques for whenever she starts over-focusing on her lip again.
Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do here. I know that sucks, but it's reality. If she has decided that this makes her ugly and everyone notices, you can't talk her out of it. I would suggest therapy for her insecurity issues.
What do you know about body dysmorphia and how it affects one's sense of self-worth?
Good luck with that. My older sister is 76 and still does that. We are our own worst critics. Someone maybe said something to her once and it stuck with her. Regardless, you can't convince her. Just keep loving her and encourage her to love herself. Maybe when she says something negative about herself, ask her to say a few good things about herself. It's not your responsibility to combat her self-esteem for her, but I think it is helpful to be surrounded by people who uplift us. It took me way too long to realize that I was better off without friends if they couldn't uplift me in the ways I tried to uplift them. I haven't had friends that live close in over a year, and I am a lot happier with myself, and also, just generally being surrounded by positivity is helpful in being a mentally healthier individual. I hope she's able to accept herself more in the near future. I hope she doesn't refrain from smiling because she's so concerned with how she looks. Self-hatred restricts us from truly living.
Honest opinion? This will take her probably a lot of years to overcome until she realizes that all this shallow bullshit doesn't matter as much as she thinks right now. It's her world. She sees a lot of value at looking beautiful. People here will say she needs to get over it, but that is really hard to do without life experience. All you can do at this point is pointing out that you find her great regardless of these things and hope that she starts to process how unimportant this stuff is for her happiness. It might be too much and you need to break up, but anyone telling you can't help her is delusional. She either realizes it or not. Nothing you can really do about it, and frankly it's not your life goal to help her in this.
Dylan Sprouse's bottom teeth are what make me feel like I'm not really all that bad with my gaps. Trust me, these are but vessels and it's the soul that shines through. Be confident, girly.
It's pretty difficult to convince someone that that thing they're obsessing over is insignificant to everyone else. My best advice would be, whenever she brings it up or it comes up, don't really engage and give it a lot of attention. Okay, so anyways, what do you want to do for dinner? Just sort of gloss over it and move on. No negative disagreement, no positive attention. The hope is that if you don't react like it's something interesting to talk about, she'll bring it up less. At the very least, you won't be actively reinforcing her obsession with it. I think attempting to engage and convince her it's not a big deal is going to just increase her focus on it.
Why do you think it has anything to do with you? Or that your opinion is the only thing that matters? My man thinks I'm beautiful in a bathrobe and no makeup, but I'm not leaving the house. That way she's allowed to like or dislike things about her appearance. If she thinks this insecurity is negatively affecting her life, then she can choose to get therapy or a cosmetic procedure or however she would like to handle it. This isn't body dysmorphia. There are some easy fixes that your GF could look into. Many people are self-conscious about their smile and spend thousands of dollars on braces, whitening, enhancements of all kinds. Mouths are forefront when we meet people. Rather than tell her it's not noticeable, because it is to her and others too, ask her what she thinks could be done to make it better and what she wants to do.
I feel like you're describing Maureen Ponderosa. She's kinda cute. I don't think you should lie to the woman.
Think of someone you interacted with 2 or 3 days ago. How much of the interaction and their appearance can you remember in detail? Think of any and all facial features, and I bet that you won't be able to 99% of the time. NBSP. If you think about it often enough, you start to realize that generally no one is going to remember that much of anything, especially at that small of a level. People forget what they ate for lunch 2 days ago. They won't remember one person's lip.
Ask her what she would say to a friend if they were to come to her with the same issue. Women are great at being supportive to the ones they love, but generally speak, not so great at being supportive of themselves.
It's normal, nothing to worry. I even had a same situation, but my hubby motivated me. He says that he loves me more than my lips, but the running generation thinks about others, not about their BF. Use lip gloss, better if you consult a doctor or let her understand herself. Timing of your affirmation may help, but maybe you're doing this already. Don't just respond to her insecurities, get ahead of it. Make sure to tell her how attracted you are to her right at the moment she smiles and might feel insecure.
So, my lips are misaligned, as in the top one sits left of the right, so their centers don't line up, and no, it's not my jaw, just my lips. I was self-conscious of it for most of my life, until my younger son was born. He has the same misalignment. His lips look almost exactly like mine, and I've always found it adorable on him, so how could I possibly think it looks bad on me? Everyone has insecurities, as demonstrated by the people who have responded here. For most of us, no amount of convincing by other people will help. It's just something we have to deal with for ourselves. But, it may help her to show her this post, and some of the responses to it. It may help her see something she hasn't before.
Come here, I want to take a closer look. Have a bit of a look at it, as if you're inspecting the apparent problem. Then give her a big long kiss on the lips. It's out of your hands if it's something that could be easily fixed. Body dysmorphia wouldn't be such a big issue as it is.
100% this. Also incredibly insecure of my smile, but one day I saw Natalie Dormer and realized my smile can be sexy.
Honestly, I'm not even sure what this means. I tried looking up Gwen Stefani, but I don't see anything different. We're not talking about gummy smiles, are we? Some girl in 3rd grade told me I had fat lips and I internalized that shit. But Angelina Jolie, I know, she crazy, is considered hot. It took me years to be okay with it. Like I was in my mid-30s before I finally was cool with it. Even after I recognized on some level that lots of celebrities had that feature and people don't dislike it.
2007 was a rough time to have a body.
I hate my young ass self as much for thinking I was so fat and ugly at the time as I do for being so fucking not a.
It's also relevant to point out that, like other cosmetic trends, it isn't really genuine. It's a way for the cosmetics industry to manufacture problems that they can fix. It's fucking disgusting, but also scarily effective. When that viewpoint is omnipresent in your social media, it gets you feeling like it's actually a major issue that's really important to people. In reality, I've never known anyone who actually cared about gummy smiles, or hip dips, or thigh gaps. In other people, I've only ever heard of this stuff from people being made insecure about it from cosmetic-focused social media. I think you need to try to remind her of perspectives from outside the echo chamber. Explain that you've never heard anyone ever complain about that in real life. If she's seeing stuff about her smile, it can help to ask if it's accompanied by advertising for people's channels, or products, or surgery, i.e. it's clearly biased. But honestly, the best thing is to just avoid any kind of social media that relies on exploiting insecurities, which might be harder to convince her to do, but would certainly be effective.
JFC, those trends have been scary effective at giving people insecurities.
Adore her and her show. Absolutely second this comment.
TBF, it's more common than you'd think among young adults. Hell, I'm 29 and still catch myself wishing I looked completely different. Insecurity and body dysmorphia are not the same thing.
I used to wear tunics and long cardigans because I thought my butt was too big. J-Lo became a big thing and I realized that no, it's the opposite. Butts are good.
Rihanna has a 1960s Barbie forehead. Beautiful. Yeah, a string is making her face move like a marionette at this point. She rearranged her face bit, not that lip. So what does that tell you? Lips are next.